A 19th century colonial bungalow located at Teluk Blangah, Alkaff Mansion was built in the year 1918 by a prominent member of the Alkaff family, Syed Muhammad bin Abdul Rahman Alkaff. Forefathers of the Alkaff family arrived in Singapore from Yemen in 1852 to engage in the trading business between India and Indonesia, specializing in the trade of sugar, coffee, and spices. As the trading business prospered, the family ventured into properties, owning up to a total of 99 properties in the year 1923. Among them, Alkaff Mansion served as a weekend retreat house for the family and became well known for hosting high society gatherings for prominent members of the public.
In 1930, a misunderstanding between the Arab and the Malay caused a huge tension among them. A community called the Young Arabs hosted a function at the Alkaff Mansion to honor a group of Malay footballers who won the Singapore Cup in 1930. So this event was actually deemed as the one that helped to relieve the Malay-Arab tension back then and boosted the Muslim community.
In 1936, the Chinese community led by the Chinese Consul General hosted the Chinese provincial governor at the Alkaff Mansion where a dinner function was being held. Many people from various linguistic and racial groups attended the dinner function to the extent where a translator was needed. At the same point of time, colonial scholar Johnson and Furnivall sees Singapore, one of the many British ruled colonial society, as a plural society. However, the events were significant as they challenged the theory of Singapore being a plural society. This is because the events held at the mansion hosted various communities and gatherings at the mansion, and many of such gatherings were independent of the British support. As you can see, this marks a very interesting point in the history of the earlier times, as racial and religious harmony can be seen and felt way before it was officially commemorated.
Let us not forget that Alkaff Mansion had a role to play in the empowerment of women back in the day. In a 1936 newspaper section titled Women's Interest, an article stated that the site served as a venue where women could regularly host with their husbands in various social functions. This was not the norm during a time of patriarchy, and was in contrast to the fact that, at the same time, women were banned from other areas like the swimming clubs because it was deemed a sacred precinct. The presence of Alkaff Mansion and its social functions enabled women to be seen as active members of society. Thus, it served as a place where women could express themselves. Such a notion was uncommon, as societies back in the day were male-dominated.
During the Second World War, the Alkaff Mansion was abandoned. People assume mainly due to the safety reason, as the mansion located nearby to the site of Battle of Pasir Panjang. The Alkaff suffered a significant business loss, ended up selling a few of their properties, including the Alkaff Mansion.
Years later, the World Buddhist Society utilized the mansion as their headquarters to train Buddhist monks and organize international conferences with other Buddhist associations worldwide. This event helped to foster transnational relations. The building was later vacated when the government decided to redevelop and keep the area for recreational and tourism purpose only. In 1990s, the mansion was restored to become a tourist attraction and subsequently turned into a restaurant which served cuisines that combined Dutch and Indonesian culinary elements. The mansion saw a surge in the popularity as a venue for weddings, birthday, and other social events. After 15 years in service, the restaurant ceased its operation due to the SARS outbreak and the economy downturn. The Alkaff Mansion remained vacated till 2011 when an Italian restaurant was set up again. Despite recognition in Michelin publication, the high operational costs caused the restaurant to conclude their operation in July 2016. The Alkaff Mansion today lies vacated and under the care of Singapore Land Authority. The facade and architecture of the mansion has since been guaranteed to be preserved. While it might be easier to focus on the more prominent event in Singapore's history, one should not forego other sites of memory, as they are important fragments that piece up the collective history of Singapore.